For more, we can speak to our international affairs editor, Philip Turle. Hello to you, Philip. Mixed feelings about a general election. That's down the road. From now, we know we have a leadership contest. Talk to us about some of the favorites.
OK, well, first of all, on the general election, it will be the Conservative Party, which is the ruling party, that has to decide. They know if they go to the polls right now, they're going to be completely trounced by the Labour Party. So they're not going to call a general election because they would lose power. So I don't think we're talking about that happening anytime in the near future. Now, on the candidates, there are a few that are emerging as potential winners of this leadership contest. Just a reminder that they're all going to have to obtain 100 signatures from fellow members of the Conservative Party who are elected to the House of Commons. There are 357, if I'm not mistaken, which means they have to get over 100 each. And that boils down to 3 candidates because they can only vote for 1 candidate per MP. So we're looking at 3 potential contenders for the leadership contest. One of them is likely to be Rishi Sunak, the former Chancellor. He was the man who ran against Liz Truss, lost during the last leadership contest in September. He is put forward as being probably the favourite. He has a big disadvantage, well, 2 big disadvantages, really. One of them is that he's Indian, and I think will find it hard to be accepted by a very white majority party. And the second point is that he was the first person to call for Boris Johnson to resign and is seen as having stabbed the former Prime Minister in the back, and that is quite hard for a lot of people to pardon for him. Second contender is Penny Mordaunt, who is the leader of the House of Commons, who shone the other day when she had to stand up and take Liz Truss's place in the House of Commons just before a fiscal statement by Jeremy Hunt, the Chancellor of the Exchequer. A lot of people saying, well, look, she looks like a Prime Minister in waiting. She's very well defended herself. She's defended the policies of the Conservative Party. Maybe she should be the leader. I think she will certainly be up there as one of the contenders. And more people are now, and if you look at the front pages of the British papers today, there's one name that shines across there, and that is Boris Johnson, the return of the former Premier, because many in the Conservative Party are saying, well, look, he's the only one who has a mandate. He's the one who won the last elections in 2019 with this massive majority for the Conservative Party in Parliament. So therefore, he's the only one who is able or would be able to bring the party back and put it back on the rails after what has been a calamitous, catastrophic period under Liz Truss. Remains to be seen how popular Boris Johnson is amongst the Conservative Party militants, Conservative Party members who would vote for him. But if he declares his candidacy, which he still hasn't done, he is in there, I think, with a chance of getting back the job as Prime Minister.
And chief task for whoever does have this job is to get the economy up and running. How hard is that task?
Well, it's difficult. Sales are falling 1.4%, more than expected at the moment. The government borrowing is up in September. It's the second highest since 2020 in the pandemic. Spending has got to be brought down by the new government because there's too much high spending, but people are not spending enough money in the country because they're worried about how they're going to pay their fuel bills. So it's like a vicious circle. So a lot is on the plate of the new Prime Minister and certainly on the Chancellor. Many people saying that Jeremy Hunt, who already is the Chancellor, the recently named Chancellor by Liz Truss, will probably keep his job in a new government.
All right, Philip, thank you very much. Philip Turle, French 24's International Affairs Editor.